What is going on, everybody? I'm back making another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best white hive build in Bee Swarm Simulator. Everybody's been switching to blue hive because it's temporarily the meta for beesmas. A lot of people are making a lot with blue hives, but there's still white hives out there, there's still red hives out there, people with really good amulets for their hive color that don't really want to switch just because of a temporary meta. And that's kind of me included. I don't really want to just switch because of a temporary meta. I know that blue hives aren't going to be the best forever. They were literally the worst for like a couple years straight, so there's no way blue hives just all of a sudden going to be the best. He's trying to balance them out. White hives are still super good for boosting, so yeah, if you guys are a white hive player and you want to know how to make the best end game hive possible, I'm going to be showing you everything that you need today. So let's go over to the bees section, and I want to cover all of the individual bees before we get into the groups. So I want to tell you each individual gifted bee you need, mainly for the gifted hive bonus, and all the bees you need for the tokens that they drop for boosting. So obviously you need the basic bee. The gifted hive bonus gives you 1.2x pollen, which is super good, especially for white hives. If you don't have a gifted basic bee, yeah, you're pretty much a beginner. You got to get a gifted basic bee. If you have gummy star and star saw, which you should if you are a white hive, especially an in-game white hive trying to make a lot with white pollen specifically, then you're gonna need a brave bee for the extra +1 bee attack. The extra bee attack on any amulet, any bee, any stats, that extra bee attack goes straight towards your star saw, which makes it a lot better. The higher your star saw attack, the more pollen it gathers, the more it converts. It just makes you make more in general. So gifted brave bee. You're also going to want gifted looker bee for the extra critical power from the gifted hive bonus. You're going to want stubborn bee for the extra ability token lifespan, and it also drops some pollen marks, so stubborn bee is not too bad. You're also going to want commander bee for the extra critical chance. I'm not sure if you're going to want demo bee. This is the one and only bee that I'm not too sure about right now, because if you guys remember that page that I showed you guys a couple videos back, a lot of the bees actually had their gifted hive bonuses changed. Like if you guys remember, commander bee used to be 5% critical chance, it's 3 now. The looker bee used to give you 20, it used to give you 50% more critical power, now it's only 25. So he nerfed some of these smaller bees, but he also changed the gifted hive bonus of a lot of stuff. Like exhausted bee did not used to be white field capacity, so that's why you also want a gifted exhausted bee for white field capacity, because like I said, this is a white hive build, you definitely need that. But demo bee was supposed to be converted into like white pollen or something else, and for whatever reason it's still buzz bomb pollen. This is like the only bee that he said he was going to change the gifted hive bonus to something else, and it's just not what he said he was going to change it to. So I temporarily am just holding on to gifted demo bee, because even if we don't need the extra buzz bomb pollen, it's still a gifted colorless bee type, which helps the gummy star. If you don't know, the more different gifted colorless bee types you have in your hive, the more honey from tokens the star gives whenever it pops or something like that. Yeah, it says on the 5th row, scattering honey tokens equal to 1.5% more per gifted colorless bee type. So either way, it still helps. I'm waiting on the gifted hive bonus to change to what it was supposed to. So you don't have to have a demo bee, but every other bee that I'm saying you have to have, like commander bee you have to have, exhausted bee you have to have. So yeah, now that I've got that out of the way, let's move on. You're also going to want a honey bee. Obviously the gifted hive bonus gives 1.5x more honey from tokens, which is really important. You get a lot of honey from tokens whenever you pop your gummy star, so you're definitely going to want a gifted honey bee. You're going to get a gifted rage bee as well for more bee attack for the star saw. You're also going to want a gifted shocked bee because it gives plus 25% more white pollen. You're going to want a baby bee for 25% loot luck and baby love. You're going to want at least 4 sources of baby love, so that's why I also have 3 tadpole bees, because gifted tadpole bees drop baby love. So you're always going to want to have at least 1 baby bee, 3 gifted tadpoles. If for whatever reason you don't want the baby bee, then I guess just 4 gifted tadpoles, but it's good having this extra loot luck. The more loot luck you have, the better items you get, the better amulets you get. Like loot luck is really good. So I go with 4 carpenters. I don't think you really need more. You just kind of need the honey mark plus and the pollen marks, because if you go to vectors actually only have pollen mark plus, and then they have the mark surge ability that surges all the marks. But you need some carpenters because the carpenters have honey mark plus. The vectors have pollen mark plus. Carpenters have honey mark plus and normal pollen mark. So these honey mark pluses, you want to have these in your group group of pollen marks because it grants you more convert rate whenever you stand in it. So the higher your convert rate, the more you're converting whenever you instant convert and stuff like that. So I run 4 carpenters. I also have a lion bee in my hive for more colorless bee attack, which is good for the star saw. You want to have 4 sources of music bees, but if you have a toy horn, then you can have 1 less music bee. I have a toy horn. If you have 2 toy horns, that's even better, but pretty much the toy horn gives you the melody ability on any bee, so you can pretty much take away 1 music because I'm still getting plenty of focus and plenty of token links. So I would usually run 4 music bees if you do not have a toy horn or 2 to put in your hive. Run 4 music bees, but if you have a toy horn or 2, you can run 3 music bees and then have an extra slot in your hive. But music bees are really important because you want at least 4 sources of melody and you want plenty of focus and token link. So 4 carpenters, 4 musics. Unless you have a toy horn, then you can have 3 musics. I would not go down to 2 musics even if you have 2 toy horns. If you have 2 toy horns, great. Just 3 music, 2 toy horns. That will help a lot. But yeah, I said lion bee for the colorless bee attack. You also want a shy bee in a white hive because shy bee now has 5% more bee ability pollen, which is really, really good. I'm pretty sure that includes the pollen that you get from the triangulates from your vectors, which is like the majority of your pollen as a white hive. So you definitely want a gifted shy bee in your hive. You're also going to want a gifted buoyant bee for 1.2x more capacity. Plus you get all of these abilities with the balloons, and having a balloon with you at all times is good. It helps out your capacity and you just make more honey in general. And then obviously you want a gifted fuzzy bee, so you have at least a little bit of pollen haze. The gifted hive bonus doesn't really help too much, but you want a little bit of pollen haze. Everybody should have at least 1 fuzzy bee in their hive. Unless you have a fuzzy alt, then you can drop down to like 1 fuzzy. Usually you want to have a couple of fuzzies if you don't have a fuzzy alt to help you boost and keep the field pollinated. You also want a precise bee because it gives 3% super crit chance. This is a brand new stat, but super crit chance is really, really good. Pretty much it's super criticals. That doesn't just apply to damage, it applies to honey also. So super crits are really good. Everybody should have a gifted precise bee in their hive and a gifted buoyant bee for the extra capacity. These are really good brand new mythics. And then, like I said, you want to have at least 3 gifted tadpoles for the baby love. So you have the 3 gifted tadpoles, the baby, those are your baby love sources. So you want at least 4 baby love sources. Mine are 3 tadpoles, the 1 baby. Then you want at least 4 music bee sources for the melody. So I have 3 music bees and a toy horn, so I'm getting extra melody. Then you want at least about, I'd say 4 carpenters. So 4 baby love, 4 melody, 4 carpenters. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, I have 16 vector bees. And if you don't know what the vector bees do, then I kind of don't know why you're a white hive player. These are like the most important bee for white hive, but pretty much what the vector bees do is you get these triangulates on the field and it links between you, your bee, and where you started. So you pretty much just have to get the biggest triangle across the field possible to make a lot of honey. And the gifted ability is the mark surges, so it makes all the marks pulse and instantly convert honey and all kinds of good stuff that helps you make a lot while you're boosting. So yeah, I have 16 of the vector bees. That's how much I have room for in my hive. If you guys want to copy my exact hive, then you can have as many as me. Alright, so down to the event bees. I do not have cobalt or crimson, and I sometimes don't have vicious. Now let me tell you why. Bear bee you need for 10% more pollen and the bear morph. Bear bee is one of the best bees in the game. Obviously, its token is super good, double pollen. And then the gifted hive bonus, 10% more pollen. You gotta have bear bee. Festive bee gives the festive gifts and honey marks. Its gifted hive bonus is mainly for red pollen, but you still gotta have a festive bee. They're super good. Gummy bee, obviously you have to have a gummy bee, especially as a white hive. 5% more honey per pollen, gumdrop, barrage, and the glob ability. Photon bee is really good, mainly for the 5% instant conversion. Photon bee itself doesn't actually make a super good amount of honey like in game. It's good for the beginning. Like early game players, Photon bee is super good, but in game it's mainly just for the gifted hive bonus. It's photon beams aren't exactly making like billions and billions. The puppy bee, this is mainly for bond from treats, but also the puppy love and the reindeer antlers. If you have the reindeer antlers, I would use puppy bee, but I also like to just keep them on for bond from treats because I'm always trying to level up my bees every couple months. I do a big level up and I don't want to keep re-gifting puppy bee. So puppy bee is good to have in your hive, especially if you have the reindeer antlers. Can't really go too wrong with the puppy bee. Yeah, the reindeer antlers gives you reindeer fetch and it gives you extra focus. So it's a good bee quip. I also have tabby bee for the extra critical power gifted hive bonus. That's obviously really good. And then I have windy bee. This is pretty much the most important bee, especially for a white hive. It gives you plus 15% instant white conversion and it gives you 2 times boost from clouds. So whenever you're boosting and the clouds are giving you like 50% more honey, it gives you even more because of the gifted windy bee. The windy bee is also the only bee in the entire game that drops white flower boost tokens. So if you don't have a gifted windy bee and high bar, then you're pretty much not going to be stacking up any white boost tokens. Windy bee also generates rain clouds. Sadly, it does it on different fields. I wish it put rain clouds on the field you were on so you don't have to manually pop cloud vials all the time while you're boosting. But then it also uses tornadoes, so it picks up a bunch of tokens on your field while you're boosting. Windy bee is just a really good bee in general, especially for a white hive. You gotta have a gifted windy bee as a white hive. And then my vicious bee, sometimes I replace him whenever I want to boost. I just replace him with a hasty bee, and then there's pretty much only like one more colorless bee type that I don't have, which is the bomber bee. But the bomber bee is like kind of useless, so I don't really want them. So maybe I'll replace the demo bee if it never gets a good gifted hive bonus. Maybe I'll get another vector or something, or maybe I'll just leave it for the extra gifted colorless bee type for the gummy star. I don't know. The demo bee just, it doesn't have the gifted hive bonus it said it was going to have, so I might end up getting rid of it. And like I said, I replace the vicious with a gifted hasty whenever I boost so I can run quicker, and because it's an extra gifted colorless bee type. So that's why my vicious is ungifted and it doesn't have a mutation. That is pretty much my hive build. You guys have been asking for an explanation of the hive and pretty much how to build a white hive, all the things that you need and why. I pretty much told you why you need all the individual bees, why you need multiple carpenters, why you need multiple musics, why you need multiple sources of baby love. I pretty much told you guys everything important about what you need in your white hive build. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, comment some more ideas for future videos down below, and subscribe if you have not already, because I got a lot more videos coming very soon. Any bee swarm videos you guys want to see, just remember to comment them down below. I am finally back, so glad to be making videos again. See you all in the next one very soon. Peace out, everybody.